By now, you probably heard the news already about the big trade that went down late Friday night as Carl Anthony Towns, star player for the Minnesota Timberwolves, was traded to the New York Knicks for Julius Randle and Dante DiVincenzo. Now, I have some thoughts about this. One, um, the Knicks are a favorite now to be going to the NBA Finals, if you ask me. Is it going to be easy for the Knicks? No. Um, I mean, you got the reigning defending NBA champion Boston Celtics. The Milwaukee Bucks going to be in the mix. The Philadelphia 76ers are going to be in the mix as well. The Indiana Pacers, they came out of nowhere, basically, to make the conference finals. So, but you got to think that the New York Knicks is going to be one of those teams that can have a case to make it to the NBA Finals. Um, as far as the Timberwolves go, uh, I'm gonna say this right for the Timberwolves, right? When you are in a relationship with somebody and you looking to find somebody else, you're supposed to upgrade yourself, not downgrade yourself. And I believe that's what the Timberwolves did with the acquisition of Julius Randle. Do I like Julius Randle? Um, he's a good player. He's a good player. He's a good but not great player. Um, my problem with Julius Randle is he's a notorious playoff choke artist. Notorious. And for a team like the Timberwolves, who's looking to take the next step, and for Anthony Edwards, for all the stuff that has been said in the offseason and things of that nature, the pressure's really going to be on him now to deliver the goods. I just don't think this is a good move on the part of the Minnesota Timberwolves. I just don't. Um, and then they still got Rudy Gobert, and we saw how disastrous that was and all that. But because Rudy Gobert is just an offensive liability for the Timberwolves. I just don't see how this mesh. I don't see how Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards can coexist. Then on top of that, when you factor in Rudy Gobert, offensive liability. Who else did they got that's going to score the basketball outside of Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle? If Julius Randle has an off game, then where are they going to go with the ball? Mike Conley? I mean, I just don't. I just don't see how this trade is going to work out for the Timberwolves, man. Just don't. You see what their roster looks like now. I like the Terrence Shannon Jr. pick. I really did like that pick coming out of the draft. Now, whether he gets minutes, that's a whole nother question. There's Jaden McDaniels. They got Skylar Mays, non-factor. Of course, they got Ant-Man. Joe Ingles. He could be a serviceable player coming off the bench. Josh Bedell, non-factor. Oh, I forgot all about Naz Reid. Yeah, Naz Reid is a guy that can come in and do some stuff. But are they gonna have Naz Reid? Most likely will be their sixth man. They got T.J. Warren. All right, I like T.J. Warren. He can score the basketball in spurts. but yeah, looking at this roster here, like I say, Skylar Mays non-factor, Ron Dillingham non-factor. I like Jaden McDaniels, Jalen Clark non-factor, Jesse Edwards non-factor, Jadon Ladie non-factor. What's up, Kid Gravity? Salute to my man, Kid Gravity in the building. Like I said, Mike Conley. I like Nikhil Alexander Walker too. Get in certain matchups. Uh, Daishin Knicks. Nope. Luke Garza. No. PJ Dozier. He's still in the league. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking about another Dozier. Never mind. But yeah, he came from the Nuggets. PJ Dozier. But looking at this roster right here, it is not enough. That means Anthony Edwards and because look, do I count on Julius Randle? No, I do not. I do not trust Julius Randle. Right? There's far too many games where Julius Randle has had hiccups in the playoffs. He's had all kinds of disappearing acts in the playoffs for me to trust Julius Randle. This for me, this knocks Minnesota off the top tier of teams that can contend in the West. It just does. Looking at the landscape in the West, OKC is the favorite to come out of the West. They're young, they're exuberant. SGA, in my opinion, is going to be a MVP. Is going to be the league MVP this year. I think SGA is going to be that guy. I don't know how Jokic got it last year. I mean, Jokic shouldn't have won the MVP last year, if you ask me. I thought that should have gone to SGA. But SGA, I'll probably put a bet in for SGA to win league MVP. They're going to be really good. OKC is going to be really, really good this year. So watch out for them. If there's one team to watch out for, it's OKC. I'm telling y'all right now. Book that shit. They're going to be really good. But anywho, do I think Minnesota's going to make the playoffs? Yes. I think Minnesota's going to make the playoffs. Do I think they're going to be a conference finals contender? No, I do not. I do not think Minnesota makes the conference finals. I do not think so. It will require a superhuman effort, or it will require Julius Randle to have an epiphany and to have a come to Jesus moment. But I don't see that happening. He's a notorious playoff choke artist. I don't trust him. And then, you got to factor in, he just, was he hurt? I think he was hurt at one point. He has injury history with them now. I don't trust the Timberwolves, man. I just don't. Could I be wrong in that? Yeah, I could be wrong in that, but really though, I just don't trust them. What's up, y'all? Let's see y'all up in the building. My sister Gigi chilling, Nate That, Mike Lewis. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, right? You said, yeah, he didn't play in the second round. He definitely did not play in the second round. I remember the year when they played the Miami Heat. They lost in the second round to the Miami Heat, and he had just came off an injury that year. They played the Cleveland Cavaliers in the first round, and Julius Randle got hurt, and the Knicks were able to beat the Cavaliers. And that was like a couple years ago, and then he came back for the Miami series, but he was hurt then too. But I don't think the Knicks are done making moves because for some reason I just don't think Mitchell Robinson is going to be a Knick. I just don't. Another thing but the wrench behind that is, right, behind any potential deals involving Mitchell Robinson got an injury history, a pretty extensive one at that. So, teams are going to be reluctant to trade for Mitchell Robinson or whatever. I know there was like a couple deals out there in recent years involving Mitchell Robinson that got rejected or whatever, like the Anthony Davis one. But um, I just don't see. I don't. To me, it's gonna be in like a package deal. It's gonna be like Mitchell Robinson and another player, or Mitchell Robinson and some picks. I just don't think people just gonna be going out their way just to trade for Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? I mean, is he a good player? Yes, he can rebound, he can defend, and he can block shots. Right? He's like your traditional center in this modern game. In this modern NBA, right? But I think it's gonna be like a package deal for him. I don't think you're just gonna be like, hey, we could trade Mitchell Robinson for such and such, right? So it's gonna be for like one serviceable player for another, or it's gonna be like in a package deal. But do I think Mitchell Robinson remains a New York Knick? No, I do not. No, I do not. Right? So, but he's a good player though. He can rebound, he can defend, he can block shots, right? But them injuries though, that is the thing that is going to be making teams reluctant to really trade for this guy. It's the injuries and stuff, right? So, but the Knicks going to be in the thick of it, right? In a very loaded Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference is loaded. You say Lawrence Robinson said the 76ers are better than the Knicks? Well, they sure as hell didn't prove that last year. They sure as hell didn't prove that last year. And we're just gonna have to see. We just gonna have to see how that plays out. Now, and this is why I have issues with the 76ers, right? Now, for years now, we've been told that we need to trust the process. Joel Embiid has been banging this drum, Brown beating us that we need to trust the process, right? But again, come playoff time, Joel Embiid will have these will have these disappearing acts. He might have a few monster games mixed in it, but he, in my opinion, is the reason why this team got held back. He is the common denominator, if you ask me, and what holds the 76ers back. When they had Ben Simmons, when they had James Harden, and we all know Ben Simmons to be a playoff choke artist. Ben Simmons right now should be irrelevant in the NBA, right? He's irrelevant, right? This is contract year. This is the last year he's going to get that mega deal he signed with the Sixers. James Harden, just James Harden things, honey buns, titty bars, all that stuff, right? But as far as Joel Embiid, he has been the constant in Philadelphia through all the changes in coaches, all the changes in the front office, all the changes amongst players. He has been the common denominator. So at what point are we going to say, Joel Embiid, enough is enough? You won MVPs. You've been an all-star. When are you going to take the next step and deliver the goods? And until they do that, until he does that, until he can elevate his play and elevate the players around him, because they got a good team. They got a good team. But is it going to be enough? And to me, the answer is no. It is not enough. Paul George is there right now. We all know how Paul George be having playoff lapses too. People are him calling him pandemic P and way off P and all this other stuff. So is that going to be enough to defeat the likes of the Knicks, the likes of the Celtics, the likes of the Bucks? And then you got an Orlando team that's coming up. You got an Indiana team that just came within the 9 lash. Well, not 9 lash, but they made the conference finals last year. So it's not going to be easy by no stretch of the imagination. Look, the Eastern Conference is fucking loaded. It's loaded. It is loaded. Oh, and I would be remiss to say that, Karl Anthony Towns has had playoff choke artists experiences too. So which brings me to this part of the video I'm gonna talk about, right? Early season predictions, right? What do I think is going to happen in the NBA, right? As far as like playoffs, coaches getting fired, things of that nature, right? So, who I think are the 8 teams going to make the playoffs, right? I don't count the play-in game. I can't fucking stand the play-in game, right? If you follow my channel for any length of time, you know I cannot stand the play-in game. I know it's going to draw money and intrigue for the league. That's why they do it. But I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of this whole in-season tournament crap. You want to talk about, there's already a problem with low management, and then we're going to throw in more games to attract more attention, to attract more money. But yet we are here talking about, you got players complaining about there's too many games. We need to load manage. All the meanwhile, the NBA is throwing more games into the mix with this in-season tournament and with the play-in and shit. But anyway, hold on. Let me take that back. If there's an in-season tournament, they're not. Well, yeah, there's more games, to be honest. There's more games. There's more games. When you playing in the championship or you playing in the semis, that really don't count against your regular season record. But anyway, so yeah, I was right. So who I think are the 8 teams that are gonna make the playoffs in the East? Well, you got Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Boston, New York, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Orlando, Cleveland, Miami, and the last pick. This could be a tough one. The last team. I want to say the Atlanta Hawks. Charlotte, no. Washington, no. Yeah, I probably will say the Atlanta Hawks. That'll probably be the one. Atlanta Hawks. Hold on, damn it. Hold on. Time out. The Indiana Pacers. What the fuck am I talking about? Not Atlanta. No. Atlanta, hell no. I just thought about the Indiana Pacers. No. Indiana's in that bitch. Fuck Atlanta. You out. Atlanta, you're out. Damn, I forgot about the Indiana Pacers. They just made the conference finals last year, so definitely Indiana will be in that mix. Now, this is not in any particular order. You say the Nets? Hell no. The Brooklyn Nets? No. They're not making the playoffs. Are you crazy? They're not making the playoffs. I don't even think they're gonna make. They're gonna be one of the. If you ask me, the Brooklyn Nets are gonna be one of the worst teams in the NBA. It's gonna be like Detroit, Atlanta, Charlotte, Brooklyn, the Wizards. Those teams are those are teams that's gonna suck. Now in the West. Well, we know OKC's in it. Houston's gonna make it. Yeah, the Houston Rockets will make the playoffs, right? So we got OKC. We got this is in no particular order either. So we got OKC, the Houston Rockets, the Sacramento Kings, Timberwolves will be in it. The Dallas Mavericks. Shit. Let me see. The Clippers will be in it. Let me see. Golden State and the Phoenix Suns. I think the Lakers on the outside looking in. I think the Pelicans are on the outside looking in. They might be the teams that end up in the play-in game or whatever like that, right? The Lakers, Pelicans, the teams might end up in like the play-in game. Did I say the Denver Nuggets? I don't even think I said the Denver Nuggets. Shout out to Gigi Chiller 702 for her donation to Cash App. I appreciate it. Definitely, Denver's gonna be in it. How did I miss the Denver Nuggets? So shit, if the Denver Nuggets are in it, then that takes out I believe the Sacramento Kings will be the team that's on the outside looking in. Because Denver's definitely making the playoffs. I think the Sacramento Kings will be on the outside looking in, right? I just don't think they have enough. I like De'Aaron Fox and DeMarcus Sabonis, but outside of those two, and then you might throw in a Malik Monk. He's an enigma, but outside of those guys, I mean, who do they really got? Kevin Huerter? Who the fuck did they got? So I just don't see. I see the Sacramento Kings being the outside looking in. The Lakers, even though that's my team, I don't see them making the playoffs. I just don't. And again, once this LeBron circus leaves, then I become a Lakers fan, right? You say DeRozan's now, but even then, Gideon, I just don't. DeRozan ain't no difference maker. I'm sorry, he's just not. I like DeRozan. Don't get me wrong, but that whole time in Toronto told me everything I needed to know, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm just he ain't no difference maker for the Kings. And then at this stage of his career, in his late 30s, I'm just not a fan of that, man. I mean, so so yeah, those are my 8. Those are my 8. I just don't but it's gonna be a really compelling NBA season. I can't wait. This man, look. If you want to donate, also there's the Cash App, there's the PayPal. Any and all donations are accepted and appreciated. Now, who do I think gets fired, right? There's 2 coaches in particular I am looking at that's going to get the axe, right? The first coach is going to be Billy Donovan for the Chicago Bulls. I think he gets fired this year, right? They just hadn't gotten any better under him. I just don't. The Bulls. I agree with that. I agree with that too, Gideon. I think Chauncey Billups gets the axe in Portland, right? I definitely think he gets the axe in Portland, right? But yeah, Billy Donovan, I think he gets fired. Chauncey Billups, another one that gets fired. Who else? I know there's a third coach out there that's going to get the. I think this the year that Greg Popovich retires. I know I keep saying that. I've been saying that for the last couple of years, but I really do think this is the year that Greg Popovich retires, right? There's another coach out there I think that's going to get the axe. What's up, Maximus Royalty? Salute to you. You say Boston, Philly, Knicks, Pacers, Bucks, Cavaliers. You think the Cavaliers going to make the playoffs? Okay. Because I don't trust Kenny Atkinson. Orlando and the Hornets. The Hornets? You think the Hornets going to make? Oh, Lord. You think the Hornets going to make the playoffs, Maximus Royalty? Oh, my Lord have mercy. You think so? Hey, where you think the Hornets gonna make the playoffs on when you play 2K, huh? And you got it in dynasty mode, and you playing as the Hornets. That's what you think they go. That's how you think they're gonna make the playoffs, right? Because in reality, And absolutely not. Absolutely not. That's the only way the Charlotte Hornets make the playoffs is if you got 2K, whether you play Xbox or PlayStation 4, or no, PlayStation 4, god damn, boy. That's how you know I'm getting old. PlayStation 5, right? If you got a PlayStation 5, you got that bitch on Dynasty mode. That's when I think the Hornets gonna make the playoffs. But as far as like in this NBA that's coming up in 2024, in real NBA, absolutely not. A surprise team? Man, I'm surprised you even made that pick. I'm surprised you even made that pick, bro. Ain't no way hell on. In that Eastern Conference, that loaded Eastern Conference, you really think the Hornets gonna make the playoffs? Oh my Lord have mercy. Man, look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If the Hornets do make the playoffs, you know what, Maxwell Royalty? I'm gonna get your contact information. I'm gonna send you $500, bro. Straight up. But yeah, the Hornets, absolutely not. Absolutely not. But yeah, the Nets, they're gonna suck. The Wizards gonna suck. Like when because I live in the DC area and I follow the Wizards and things of that nature. And I looked at Alexander Sarr. He was the number 2 overall pick in this year's NBA draft, and he completely sucked. He sucks. He completely sucks. And then their coach was the guy that after Wes Unseld Jr. was unceremoniously fired, and they basically kept the same coach that was the interim last year, and he sucks. So Kuzma's going to be a good individual player, but they're I will argue they're going to have the worst record in the NBA between the Brooklyn Nets and the Washington Wizards. Those two teams are going to have. They're going to be competing to see who's going to have the worst record, man. They are going to fucking suck. You see the Pistons? The Pistons, who the Pistons coach is? Who did they bring as their head coach? JB Bickerstaff. They'll be better, but they'll be on the outside looking in. I just don't. But yeah, they're gonna be better. But I just don't. I just don't. I don't trust the Pistons. Kid Cunningham, he's a good player. That crispy, that extra crispy dude look like the bark of a brisket. What the fuck is his name? He their center. Who the hell is that? Who is the? Was it what the fuck is that guy's name? Hold on, because I really liked him as their center. Oh, Pistons roster. Jalen Duran. Thank you, Gideon. I know you would know. I know you would know. Yeah, Jalen Duran. I like him. He's a guy that can block shots. He's a guy that can do a lot of stuff. So yeah, Jalen Duran. Tobias Harris going back to Detroit. They'll be a better team. I just don't. Honestly, you say what about the Grizzlies? You know what? I totally forgot about Memphis. Gigi Chilla. I definitely forgot about the Memphis Grizzlies. It would depend on the health of Ja Morant. It would definitely hinge on the health of Ja Morant. Because aside from all the stupidity that he was involved in and all that, right? Look, Ja Morant, that motherfucker is a goddamn beast, man. I swear to God, man, or everything I love, man, that motherfucker is a goddamn beast, bro. Straight up, man. And if he's healthy, um, I can see um I can see the Grizzlies making the playoffs, right? And if the Grizzlies make the playoffs, then that would take out shit. OKC is going to be in it. If the Grizzlies make the playoff, then that will eliminate the Houston Rockets. But I think the Rockets are going to be a better team this year. So yeah, Ben Simmons, yeah, he's done for. I mean, even if Ben Simmons have this year this year that is like out of this world, I just don't see him getting that long-term contract. I don't see people taking chances on Ben Simmons, man. He just. I don't even like talking about Ben Simmons at this point. I think he's a fucking clown. The Clippers, yeah, that would be the team that would be the odd team out, right? Because um, they got Harden, they got Kawhi Leonard. He can't stay healthy. So yeah, that would be yeah, I would agree with that, Mike Lewis. I agree with that. The Clippers would be the odd team out. Yeah, because Kawhi's not even gonna start the year. He's he got knee issues, and I just think at this point Kawhi Leonard needs to retire. You know what I'm saying? Now whether he actually retires, that's a whole nother story. But I think Kawhi Leonard needs to retire, man, with that knee injury. Uh, JJ Redick, I know the Lakers. Look, I'm not a fan of this whole LeBron circus. I'm not a fan of JJ Redick. JJ Redick shouldn't even had that job to begin with. JJ Redick is a known fucking racist too, right? And y'all know how I feel about that shit. JJ Redick is a clown. That motherfucker really literally politicked his way into that head coaching thing with the Lakers or whatever like that. And then they had the audacity. You had people had the audacity to say that god dang on JJ Redick is the second coming to Pat Riley. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? If people really out here saying that god dang on JJ fucking Redick is the second coming of Pat Riley, mm-mm-mm. Nah, I don't. I'm not fucking with. I'm not fucking with that. Just not. God damn, boy, the Green Bay Packers are getting smoked. 28-7. God, Lee. Mm-mm-mm. They say this man could be the guy. Boy, I swear to God, boy. You can't make that stuff up. You say Milwaukee will lose in the first round. That's not that, considering that they lost in the first round. Um, couple times now after winning the championship. That's not a bold prediction, Gideon. That's definitely well within the range of outcomes as far as like Milwaukee losing in the first round. You you say Zach LaVine gets traded to Houston. I don't see him going to Houston though, but and if you ask me, I think the Chicago Bulls are just stuck with him, man. Because nobody like remember in the offseason, there was a whole lot of trade proposals for there was a lot of trade talk about Zach LaVine, and nobody wanted him. Nobody wanted him. So I think the Bulls are stuck with him. They're stuck. Sorry, I'm just not Zach LaVine just ain't no needle mover like that. But anyway, so once again, as far as like coaches getting fired, I think Billy Donovan gets fired. I think Chauncey Billups is a goner. I think Greg Popovich retires. SGA is gonna be my pick for league MVP. Yeah, and that's pretty much it, man. So I gotta get up out of here. I got stuff to take care of, man. Thank you for GG Chillin 702 for a donation to Cash App earlier in the stream. I thank everybody for tuning in. Hit that like button, support the channel on your way out the door. If you're not subscribed to this channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and share these videos on your social media platforms. Shouts out to the LDBC. This your man. Scream at me. Hurt!